All right, listen up. I know some of you cheated. Asked AI to write your objectives or even your self evaluations. And yeah, AI is everywhere these days, but just because it's popular doesn't mean it knows best. If you've been here before, you already know my stance. Your objectives should come from you and you alone. You're the only one who truly knows what drives you, what your ambitions are. Handling that over to somebody else, be it a person or AI or an internet template, strips away your intention and the real essence of OKRs. It turns your goals into just another checklist that you need to do, another must do with no heart and no purpose. And that's really not OKRs are about. I'm saying this again. OKRs examples are just guides. Don't blindly copy paste from them without context and understanding. Context always matters. Ask most people for a gym related objective and they will say lose weight. But what if your objective is actually to build muscle? Forget shortcuts. Learn how to craft OKRs based on the whys, your priorities, and what truly matters to you. That's where real power comes from. Today, it's showdown time. Testing the OKRs of ChatGPT and Gemini. Who's got the edge? I'm bringing my A game today, and this one feels a bit tougher than last week, but we'll see how it goes. Quick intro for the new folks. I'm Ali, PhD in performance management, seasoned management consultant, and your non nonsense cool aunt in organizational management. I hate buzzwords, fluff, and making things more complex than they should be. I think the world is complex enough, so let's just keep it simple with organizations, shall we? If you're into clear thinking, straight talk, and maybe a little roasting or sometimes more roasting, welcome. You're in the right spot. Let's dive in. If you want to understand the framework we're using to evaluate these OKR examples, check our last week's video, especially the intro for all the details. Now, time for my favorite part, roasting and challenging those AI-generated OKR examples. First up, we have Gemini. Let's see if it's a helpful solution or just confidently wrong. So Gemini says an OKR, objective and key results, is a goal setting framework where an ambitious qualitative objective is supported by 3 to 5 measurable quantitative key results that track progress. Now, I know last week's videos set the bar low, but hey, at least it's not saying objectives and goals are the same thing, right? At least not for now, because it does go on to say a clear, memorable, and inspiring goal that is qualitative and not quantitative. Alas, my enthusiasm was short lived, I guess. Now, other tips according to Gemini: be aspirational, objectives should be bold and stretch your team, be numeric, key results must be measurable, and avoid projects. OKRs are about the outcomes, not just tasks. So don't list projects as key results. All good so far, but let's just see if it follows his advice. So we have the first example, sales team. Objective, hit quarterly revenue of $10 million. Wait, didn't it just say objectives should be qualitative? Indeed it did. And yet here we are, $10 million is in the objective. So ideally, take that out and make it into your first key result. Key results: increasing new annual recurring revenue from the Asia Pacific region by $1 million and achieving a 30% upsell cross-sell rate. There might still be hope looking at this one. Now, the objective isn't bold or nothing revolutionary, but at least it's trying to stretch beyond business as usual, or I guess so we hope. Key results seem to be quite okay. And the third key result, obviously, is the one in the objective with $10 million. Gemini also gives another OKR centered around the same theme, which seems to be a bit better. Objective, drive record-breaking growth in Q4 to increase financial stability. It does contain two objectives in one. You want to drive record-breaking growth, and then you want to increase financial stability. Ideally, increase financial stability or record-breaking financial stability would be your objective. Then the key results: hit quarterly revenue of $10 million. See what I said? It should be in the key results. Achieve $1 million in annual recurring revenue and increase the conversion rate from SQL to opportunity to 11%. And then we have decreased the sales cycle from the standard product from 32 to 15 days. Again, not much to comment here. I would probably not consider the sales cycle as a key result for financial stability or record breaking growth, but uh, I guess we don't need to nitpick that much. For a marketing team, the AI recommends the objective improve our marketing funnel to become the vendor of choice in the industry. Once again, you do not need an objective that says do this to achieve this or achieve this to achieve this. They seem to be more like either two objectives in one or the project and then the objective at the end. So just make sure your objective is just straightforward to your final destination or the destination of choice. Key results: increase mailing list subscribers from 2,000 to 3,000, increase the newsletter open rate from 25 to 35, and increase the newsletter click through rate to over 7%. So definitely their objective here is improve marketing funnel. Yes, might be related to an overarching objective of becoming the vendor of choice, but looking at the key results, there's nothing that measures being the vendor of choice. So probably just stick to improve our marketing funnel for the objective. Again, the objective is not revolutionary, it's not necessarily stretched, is more so business as usual than anything else. So that could be something we change. Then another objective, I would say that so far things are not as bad as they were with OKR examples created by experts in the field. Become the market leader in our niche. And then we have as key results increase market share by 10%, achieve an NPS of 50 plus, and generate 500 qualified leads and achieve a 25% conversion rate. See, nothing here says market leader. So, yes, we have a market share increased by 10%, but does that mean we are the market leader? Only if we know what is the benchmark now, and anything else does not measure market leader in any way, shape, or form. So I would say the key results pertain to another objective, definitely not this one. For marketing, we have boost brand awareness as an objective, increase social media engagement by 25%, grow website traffic by 20%. Again, yes, sure, if you have more traffic and engagement, people know about you. But then again, how about if you have engagement from all the same people, they just engage more? So, would that boost the awareness of your brand? Not so much. Again, rethinking this relationship between key results and the objective seems to be the bigger issue here. In terms of key results, we do have much, much better key results than, again, the ones created by experts. Customer success team. Objective: increase engagement with new customers, triple the in product communication open rate from 6 to 18%, book 24 follow up meetings per week, achieve a service quality rating of 9.5 or higher, and reduce response time by 300%. Reduce response time by 300%. I guess you could make this one a bit easier in terms of maybe just with how much you want to reduce the time. Just say the actual amount of time you want to reduce. The quality rating doesn't measure increased engagement with new customers. I can have a service quality rating of 9.5 or higher from all the engagements, not necessarily related to new clients. Booking 24 follow up meetings per week. Yes, sure, this could refer to engagement in a sense, but it feels more like an activity than anything else. It's not a good key result because it's not measuring the result of those meetings. and tripling the communication in product communication. Again, if this is related to in a way to new clients, that's a good key result. But if it's not related to new clients, then change it, because to me very little of this actually says we have increased the engagement with new customers the way the objective says. Increase customer satisfaction is another objective. Improve customer satisfaction score from 30 to 50, reduce customer complaints by 50%, and achieve an average customer retention of 98%. This one seems to be the best example thus far. Again, the objective doesn't sound very ambitious. It sounds more like business as usual. The measurements are something you would have in the balance scorecard as well, but at least it doesn't measure activities or things that are not related to the objective itself. Still, I don't consider it that good of an OKR, given that this is a business as usual objective for most organizations I've worked with thus far. We have another objective for HR, enhance employee onboarding. And we have as key results 15% increase in new hire satisfaction score. Maybe make it more specific and say with the onboarding, because I can be happy with my manager, I can be happy that I have a job, I can simply say I'm not going to give a bad score, especially since I'm a new hire, if I don't want to lose my job. So make it specific to satisfaction score with the onboarding process, and ensure all new employees complete onboarding task within 5 days. This has nothing to do with enhancing employee onboarding, putting a timeline and a deadline, and just telling all employees to complete some tasks within 5 days has nothing to do with enhancing employee onboarding, just speeding it up maybe. So again, I don't think this is a good key result for the objective. It doesn't tell us anything about the onboarding enhancement. Now, as I said, while most of these examples are business as usual, I got to give it to AI. They are doing a much better job than I thought. And as far, they're much better than the so-called specialists selling you those OKR examples we tore apart in a previous video. Now, Gemini is down, and stepping into the ring is ChatGPT. ChatGPT gives us an example for e-commerce or retail, and we have objective boost online sales revenue. Again, this revenue example, which everyone has, irrespective of OKRs, balance scorecard, management by objectives, no system at all, everyone has it, but let's give it a try. So with the key results, we have increased monthly online sales revenue by 35% to 1.3 million. Now, see, just decide on one measure, either percentage or the actual financial amount, but there's no point in actually mentioning them both. The second key result, reduce cart abandonment rate from 70% to 50%. Sure, it's, I guess it's at least it's a more outside of the box measurement. Grow email subscriber list by 20,000 new users, nothing to do with boosting the actual sale revenue. It is maybe something lower down if you want to measure it, or something that you can put in your dashboard. But the fact that I have more subscribers tells me nothing about the actual revenue I get from sales. And achieve a 4.5 star average product rating across all products. Again, I see how this influence sales, but we cannot say it's a result that measures sales and revenue. So key result 3 and key result 4, I wouldn't put them under this objective. Then let's take another example, which wasn't provided thus far, for healthcare and hospital. So we have enhanced patient care quality, a very nice objective. Key result, reduce patient wait time in ER by 20%. I guess it can relate to quality, especially if it's in ER, although time doesn't measure quality in most cases. Achieve a patient satisfaction score of 90% plus in quarterly surveys. See, this is where sure, satisfaction showcases if you provided high quality care in general, so the way patients were treated, the way they perceive the whole experience. But I wouldn't say they are measuring 100% quality in this case, because what if I have an invasive procedure I definitely didn't like, and I'm going to be uh, grumpy. Think Dennis the Menace grumpy, and I'm just gonna give you a bad score. Although the doctors did their job, they informed me of what's going to happen. They treated me with empathy, but I'm just unhappy with the fact that I had to go through all that. So here is here's the discussion if it's really worth having patient satisfaction score if we're measuring uh, care quality. Then increase the percentage of patients discharged within 48 hours by 50%. I would disagree with this one because it really depends on the complexity of the issue. So if you force doctors to discharge patients, you might end up with patients being discharged before they should, and this actually decreases the quality of care that they provide. And key result 4, conduct training for 100% of nursing staff on new care protocols. This is an activity, this is an initiative, but it has nothing to do with quality of care. Here's a key result I would add: how many patients are coming back with the same issues after being discharged. So if I give you quality of care, if you benefit from the best care that you could, then that means once you're being discharged, your issue should be alleviated at least. This is what I would consider a very good key result. Then we have one more example. Obviously, they provided us with a lot of examples, so I'm just looking at a few of them, not necessarily in any order. We have increased production efficiency as an objective. Again, very business as usual objective for any production facility. Key result: reduce machine downtime by 15%. Um, I think nature is attacking me. We have, sure, machine downtime can support with efficiency. I mean, reducing machine downtime can support with efficiency. Improve production yield rate. Yes, 92% to 97%. It's measuring efficiency. Decrease manufacturing cost per unit. Cost relates to efficiency as well. And then we have again train 100% of factory floor employees on lean manufacturing principles. This is an activity. Don't put it in your key results. This is what you do to get to the other key results. But once again, this is nothing outside of business as usual, nothing revolutionary, nothing that should really be showcased as your OKRs. And I've actually asked ChatGPT what mistakes he think he did, and here's the result I got. Great questions. Here are some possible mistakes or area for improvement: lack of context or prioritization. Obviously, there was no way ChatGPT could prioritize. I gave it no context at all. Then we have some key results could be more specific or measurable. For example, he's looking here at what type of training to conduct for nursing staff. This is not a good example because, as we said, training shouldn't necessarily be a key result in the first place. He did recognize he mixed outcome and output metrics. Some key results mix outputs such as launch X new features with outcomes increase DAU. Ideally, key results should focus on outcomes to reflect real impact, yes, but then conduct training shouldn't even be in your key results. No time bound details. As we said in previous videos, if your key results and your entire OKR pertains to a quarter, there's no real need to say by the end of the quarter in each key result. No mention of alignment. There was no way that ChatGPT could mention alignment because I gave it no understanding of any context. Assuming metrics are universally applicable, fair. And finally, we get to the biggest issue: could use more stretched goals or inspirational objectives, which is what I've been saying all along. And I did ask for one example which corrects all the above mistakes. And it said the objective should be deliver outstanding success to drive retention and expansion by the end of Q4 2025. Again, it's not necessarily correct since we have that to drive something else. So your objective should just be deliver outstanding customer success. Then the key results are increase net revenue retention. I'm not quite sure how this is outstanding customer success, but let's say if everyone is very happy, they will look at that. Although ChatGPT does say this measures retention and expansion. So once again, two objectives in one and key results pertaining to both. Then we have reduce customer churn rate. Uh, See, the net revenue retention already includes churn rate in its formula. So once again, the objective seems to be drive retention and expansion, not necessarily outstanding customer success. Then we have customer satisfaction, business as usual. Implement and launch a customer success playbook with 100% customer success managers. So this is an output, not the outcome, while ChatGPT said all key results should be outcome. And then we have expand 30% of existing accounts by upselling at least one new product. Again, the net revenue retention actually includes upsell and cross sell. So I'm not quite sure why we have to measure all these parts of NRR. Once again, it seems like the objective is not clear. I thought initially that it would focus on outstanding customer success, while in reality, it focuses on driving retention and expansion. So, guess what? It didn't quite help with that. And I did ask ChatGPT for a quintessential example of an OKR. I did tell it to make it innovative and bold to really encompass the essence of OKR. And we have the objective: revolutionize the way our customers experience sustainability by making our product carbon negative within 12 months. It does sound a bit more ambitious. We have, in terms of key results, reducing the product's carbon footprint by 50%. Uh, Unfortunately, it measures the initiative as well through supply chain optimization and renewable energy integration. Drop it. Launch a new product packaging made by 100% biodegradable and compostable materials, achieving 80% customer adoption. Unfortunately, it sounds more like an initiative. The adoption of this could be the key result. Implement a carbon offset program. It already mentions the initiative. So just drop this one. Increase customer awareness and engagement in sustainability initiatives, reaching 1 million participants. Again, sounds more like an initiative. So while the objective is much better, the key results seem to be actually a bit worse this time. It looked like AI didn't do that bad, all things considering, but of course it can still improve quite a bit. I'll see you next time with another video where we'll see whether we look at other OKR examples from AI, or maybe we'll surprise you with something else. In the meantime, like and comment if performance still gives you some mild existential dread, if you've got a formal complaint on performance management, if you have a funny or maybe even painfully real story to share with us, and just suggest maybe a topic for a future video. I'm all open to that. But seriously, just unload all of your performance related issues on me as your wise auntie who tries to give real advice on performance management. And thank you for hanging out this time as well.